Hello, 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 Brown Mamas community. I am back with our second episode of the State of Black Motherhood Uninterrupted. As you know, if you tuned in last week for my super dope conversation with Ambria Meadows, she gonna kill me. Ambria Meadows Fernandez, we talked a lot about really defining Black motherhood in this culmination era is what I'm calling it of all the things. I feel like we're in a culmination era of capitalism coming to a head. I feel like we're in a culmination era of women choosing their identities, having the freedom to choose their identities for maybe the first time in American history. And we're also at a head in terms of how we relate to each other and wanting to shift how we relate to each other and change how we relate to each other, considering all the media and all of these things. And so, of course, when I first set out to start having these conversations, I had to think about like, who did I want to talk to? And I didn't want to talk to just regular, like, I didn't want to talk to the names. I wanted to talk to actual people that I had experienced over the years. Hold on. I'm a mama, y'all. So people are always in my space, just like, I'm gonna take a deep breath. So anyway, there were people I wanted to have. I didn't want to just have a conversation with just regular people for the sake of having conversations with names. I wanted to have conversations with people who had actually viewed living their lives in a joyous way, who I'd viewed redefining themselves, or who I'd stumbled upon at a time where I'm like, she's different. She's interesting. And Kathy was one of the people I thought about. So first of all, welcome to the Brown Mamas community again, Dr. Kathy Calhoun.
That's me now. I can't believe it, but thank you so much, Puffy. I appreciate being here.
I'm happy to have you. And so a little bit more context and background. This is probably like maybe 2 years ago. We were looking for a childcare provider for one of our, I think it was for our rehearsals for the Brown Mama monologues. And so I just put it out there like, does anybody do childcare? And Kathy was like, oh, I do. And I'm like, I didn't know Kathy does childcare, but I give it a chance because I know her and she seems mad cool. Or I don't know if maybe I reached out to you. I can't remember how it happened.
I can't remember either, but I know it happened.
It happened. And so sis comes to babysit the kids, which I consider, just because I've studied the art of babysitting, and I consider babysitting to be like, it is not only an honor and a privilege, but it is also like woe to the babysitters because of the hard work that they do with children and their ability to work with a population who refuses to be defined. Um, and watching her with these kids was, I'll be honest, it was a little bit life altering for me because I watched you like, it wasn't babysitting. It was more like you were just sourcing joy from children and giving them an opportunity to experience it with you. And so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about with you was like,
Yeah.
where did this come from? Where did this ability to just be in unity with children and love on them and show them so much kindness and reverence come from?
Yeah, I feel like it started at a very young age for me. My mom would always like say, I think you're going to work with like the youth when you get older because I was one of those like preteens or young people who always like just took to the kids. Like if we had my older cousins who had young babies, they would be like, "Here, Kathy, you want to just like hold them for a minute?" And then I end up like watching all the kids throughout like our family get-togethers and different things like that. And it really started young. I feel like maybe I'm just a big kid inside,
Mm-hmm.
but I do really find joy with working with young people, young children, just because they're just so innocent. They're just so like wanting to learn everything and they're curious and just, I love helping them with their curiosity. So I don't only just watch the kids or babysit the kids. I really put forth time and energy of thinking of ways to kind of help them and shape them, even if we're just together for a short period of time. So I come up with very creative like activities that stem in arts. Like when we were together with the kids, or when I was with your group of children for the rehearsal, we did art, we did music and movement, we did like theater, we put on productions.
I see.
Yeah, we did some reading. So those are very important to me. I just want to give kids an overall experience. And maybe, through that experience, they will take something from it, or maybe a, a young person who never really liked art came and did art with me, and now they want to continue to do art. So just kind of like giving them an overall experience instead of just watching or babysitting. I really love to educate
Right.
people. So I had a really good time with the babies, and we did a lot of things in those couple of hours.
Yeah. There's a book that I had read when I was homeschooling my kids, and it was called Kendezi, The
Mhm.
Congolese Art of Babysitting. And that from reading that book, it really helped me to realize how much of an honor it is to spend time with children,
Yeah,
and how seriously we should take it. And so I also recognize that I recognize two things. Number one, when adults are able to bring children into spaces where they are respected and they feel engaged, it increases trust, because a lot of people don't realize that kids don't trust adults
this is very true.
because the adults that are in their lives have not proven
Hmm.
trustworthy.
Very true.
Yeah. And then there's also
Yeah.
like, it does something to you internally for your own soul. And so I wanted to just
Mhm.
ask you about that. Like, how has working with kids, working with children, really informed your own life path and how you live inside out?
Yeah, I feel like children really have inspired me in a way to want to do better and be better for them and create these safe spaces for them. I started my journey just doing like simple babysitting type things, and then eventually I'm like, you know what, I really want to like do this for real. So when I started my college journey, um I started out wanting to be an elementary school teacher. And
Mhm.
so I took that route for a little bit, changed it up though in my junior year, and I graduated with psychology, but I still always had enough credits to still teach. So then I got into, teaching young students with different behavioral disorders. So ADD, ADHD. I was kind of like a teacher, but mental health worker where I helped
Right.
students, you know, kind of cope with the things they were going through, work with families to kind of like implement the things that we were doing in this particular program I was working in into the home. So I did that for a while and I really enjoyed it. I was able to create lesson plans, but also because I graduated with a psych degree, I was able to also like work with the students with their behavioral issues and different things. So I'm like, okay, I love this. I love working with the youth. I love watching them grow and just like instilling different things into them. So I went back to school now as a in my for my doctorate degree in education to continue educating the youth, while I will also work with adult babies as I like to call them, but still just working with the young people, and it really working with students over this time frame has really inspired me to be better, and that's why I wanted to continue my education. I'm
Right.
always in a workshop or a training of how to better educate students, specifically our Black youth. I work at the August Wilson African American Cultural Center, and I'm their director of education and community engagement. So I get to work with a variety of students throughout the week, and just with my background in the arts and just education overall, I feel like this is really my passion. This is really my calling, and
Right.
I
Gifts.
as I give to students, students are giving to me, and it just keeps inspiring me to keep going and going. Like
Right.
sometimes I walk into work or into a classroom or into an organization where I'm about to work with kids. I may have had a bad day. I'm like, I can't work with these kids today, but they just bring I don't know, they just do things and say things that bring joy. And I always learned that if a student or a kid, I should say, is telling you, oh, you're pretty, or oh, your outfit is cute, I believe them. So when they
Right.
tell me, oh, Miss Cece, I really had a good time, I want to come back, I leave feeling like fulfilled because
Right.
I came in, maybe I'm having a bad day, but I came in, I did what I wanted to do and needed to do for these young people, and left out feeling just inspired to continue to do more for these young people. So
Right.
that's kind of a short story of my journey with working with
Mhm.
kids and just like how they bring me joy. And I want to continue to bring them joy because these babies need it. Um,
What is one of the biggest lessons that working with children, educating children has taught you, and how do you think parents could apply it?
I really kind of touching base on what you had said. I do feel bringing students, or I keep saying students, but kids into a space where they are, where they do feel safe and that they do trust the person, I think is very important because and respecting the kid. I've seen a lot of situations where unfortunately young people are disrespected by their parents. And I know we have this
Mhm.
mentality, I'm the parent, you're the kid, you should listen to me.
But that's not always real.
Right. So I feel like with my approach, I really listen to these babies. I respect what they have to say. I'm not just like, no, you shouldn't be saying that, or no, you shouldn't be thinking that. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk
Mhm.
about your feelings. Let's sit down and discuss it. So I feel like for me, one of the lessons I would say I've learned is like showing respect to the babies. And I feel like the babies will then, of course, respect you and trust you even more.
Right.
So, um, I know I'm not a parent, disclaimer, I'm not a parent, a full-time parent.
But it seems like you do a lot of mothering
I
on
do.
a daily
I'm an
basis.
auntie. I'm an extended auntie for a lot of young people, but so my, I guess, POV, my point of view may be a little different, but like I really do feel respecting the babies and really listening to them, and not just, oh no, I don't want to hear it right now. I love to hear what young people have to say, and let's have a conversation about it. If you're feeling upset with me, why are you upset? I'm not just going to like yell at you or put you, out of the way from the other kids or whatnot, but just really having true conversations and talking to them and listening to them. So I hope that all made sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I think it's important that we recognize, just from a spiritual perspective, the way I understand parenting is that your child chooses you when they come into the
Yes.
atmosphere. You
Yep.
know, they make a conscious choice to come and learn lessons and be whole with you. And I think
Hmm.
we have to respect that the child chose you. You didn't choose the child.
Right.
And there's a certain authority in that understanding and that, way of believing. And I think it's really important that we just give children the respect that they deserve, because we live in a society where children probably deal with more disrespect on a day-to-day basis than most adults do.
I agree.
There are power dynamics at play in our society that force children to do things that they don't want to do on a daily basis. We
Hmm.
don't often ask their input or their perspective. We assume that we know what's best for them. Have you been in situations where adults have assumed they knew what was best for kids, and maybe you were like, no, I don't think that's what's best?
Yeah, I mean, I have experienced that just in my current position here, when even the teachers bring some of the students in for us to, go ahead and work with them. I sometimes find that the teachers are telling the students what they feel they want or need. And while the student is verbally saying, hey, no, this is not what I want, this is not what I need, the teacher is still kind of like pushing that upon them. And then sometimes, I'm still working on where should I say something or should I not? But most times I'm like, you know what, to the teacher, I got it. Like, I got it here,
Go take a break.
take a break. Because I think that's really what it is. Like, I
Right.
think sometimes, being an educator is a lot of hard work, and sometimes breaks
Mhm.
are really truly needed. So when I see a situation like that and I'm in that space with the teacher and the student, while they, sometimes I don't know if it's my place, I kind of like make it my place and just say, you know what, Mr. or Mrs. blah blah blah, go ahead and take a
Mhm.
break. I'm going to go ahead and talk to this student and see what they need and want. And usually it's the complete opposite of what the teacher is trying to
Right.
push upon them. So I've definitely been in certain situations, even just with even family members and their kids. And one thing I don't want to do is try to tell somebody how to teach or how to deal with their child. But I do kind of like do it in a very loving, respectful way. So
Right.
um definitely been in a few of those situations, and it all goes back to really just listening to what these students or children have to say,
Mhm.
and just listening to them and respecting what they say instead of pushing upon your views or your what you want for them. So yeah, it's
Agreed.
I'm kind of like, let me just step in,
Right. Sometimes we need those.
ask questions later.
Right. This is why we need aunties. This is why we need neighbors and educators and folks around parents who are, because sometimes parenting can be such a in the trenches type of experience that you're not really seeing how your actions are directly affecting, or sometimes your inactions
Right,
are affecting kids. And you need people around you who kind of have a more objective view of what's happening with your child, and also that your child can trust as like intermediaries between you and the kid. And I
right,
think sometimes as parents, it's easy for us not to want that type of input, and also not to make that type of input commonplace in our experiences, even though it's vital to the health of the child over the long term.
for sure.
um, yeah. And also wanted to just talk to you about, so I've seen you just on social media, not like up in your business, but I've just seen you kind of start to live in a way that feels very childlike and joy centered. And I wanted to ask you just about that. Like, you're a model, you're an educator, you're a Zumba teacher, like you do all of these things with so much fervor.
Yeah,
And it just seems, it's beautiful to watch, but it also seems like, to me, it just, when I see your face and you're on social media, it just seems like you are literally sourcing joy from these kids and pushing it into your life, and then just giving it for everybody to see.
yeah. So for me, I don't know if you're into astrology or anything, but
I'm all the things.
okay.
That was going to be my first question, but I said I didn't want to get in your business. I was about to let you wish your sign.
Yes. So like I,
What's your
I bring
sign?
it I bring this up because I'm a Capricorn. So if
Okay.
if you know anything about like a Capricorn, we're very hardworking,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we are grown at a young age, right?
Right.
So I've always had to be that grown person at a young age and have to take care of my siblings and doing different things in a family, taking care of myself at a very young age.
Right.
So
Right.
I have had all these years of just like working hard, being this adult at like 16, 17 years old. Like,
Are
so
you a January Capricorn or a December?
I'm a January Capricorn.
No,
So
January Capricorns are way more likely to have to raise their siblings in some way, shape, or form.
yeah, I mean, while my mom and my dad was around, but I feel like that I was also like a figure in my
Right. Are
siblings'
you the
life.
oldest?
I am the oldest, so
Okay, makes sense.
the reason this is all for like saying all this for a reason. So yes, I'm the oldest of my siblings. I always had, I feel like, more responsibility. Always had to. I started working when I was 15 years old. Always taking care of myself, putting myself through school, living
Mhm.
on my own at a very young age. So all of this, trying to get my life together. And so now in my adult age at 40, I I'm just really living life. So all
Right.
those things I couldn't do back in my 20s and some of my 30s, I want to do now. So I feel like a child in a sense because I didn't get a chance to experience certain things. So now I'm like I'm about to plan a trip to go to Disney World because I want
Right.
to go, and have fun and wear my Mickey hat and be like a kid again. I dance and I do movement and different things because that brings me joy, and then I get to experience that with other young people, and that brings joy to them. We just dance together. They show me the new TikTok dances. We do it all together. I am now able to just live life a little more free. I'm in a different tax bracket now from when I used to be, so I'm able
That
to
part.
like, you know, so
That'd be the
I'm
main
able
part
to like
sometimes.
experience life a bit more
Right.
and travel and just really enjoy life. And a part of enjoying life is working with young people. While I live in Pittsburgh, I am able to work with young people all throughout, you know, our great United States and just anywhere I go is just joy working with them. And I sometimes feel like while I don't have kids in this moment that I'm probably just meant to be an auntie or like a person that shows some extra love to these babies. So I'm loving life the way I'm living, loving the babies and just making sure that I just, I think my true goal is just really to walk away knowing that one or two kids took something from our experience together. So I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think that's gonna happen beyond. I mean, I'm sure that's already happened. So legacy met, right?
Yes,
Um,
that's it.
yeah, I love that. So what can people well, I hate that question. I'm not asking that question. What are you looking forward to right now in your life? Like what are the main things that are making you continue to do the work that you do?
Well, I haven't fully said it out loud, but I'm gonna say it to you. You would be one of the first people to know. Me and my partner, we actually just finished our 501c3. Uh,
Okay.
we're a nonprofit. Um, we're both Capricorns, so it's called Capricorn's Kid Creative Arts
Mhm.
and Education. So we are
Love
doing,
that.
yeah, I'm looking forward to really growing this nonprofit because it's all rooted in our love for teaching and educating young people.
Mhm.
So, and we're both into the arts and we both are into education and higher education and different things. So, I'm looking forward to bringing this nonprofit to life so that we can continue this work with our babies, and just bringing forth beautiful educational programs and workshops, not only for them, but for the parents, for the families, for just the community. So
Mhm.
that's one thing I'm really looking forward to over these next couple of months is just getting that all together, growing that, and seeing where that leads. So um, and yeah, just really continuing this work. I,
Right.
have a lot of different programs that we're doing here at the August Wilson that is all stemmed in STEAM or art, and just growing those programs to also educate and inspire young people and just I have this doctorate degree now, try to do something with that. So
Right. Right. Right.
I'm
Right.
definitely looking forward to, doing more things, overall just in education. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. So
I'm excited about that for you.
tuned for all that information to come. We just literally completed all the things last week. And so now it's just, yeah. We'll be having some stuff going out. Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Congratulations on that. I I feel like that is in alignment, and I also just feel like that's going to absolutely be successful because like I said, that was watching you with them kids that day was it was just it was beautiful. It was
They were
really
so cute.
beautiful. And you were just so it was almost like you were a kid, and I was like, I need to be like that, like with my kids. I need to source more childlike energy for them so that they can
Gotta
have these
tap in.
experiences. Yeah, tap in. And that's something I learned homeschooling my kids, like, well, unschooling, because I didn't do traditional homeschooling, but I just learned that you cannot ask kids to tap into your world. You have to tap into theirs. So
Sure.
if that's art, play, video games, hopscotch, running, swinging
It's
on the
really research. Like,
yeah.
believe it or not, sometimes I'll be up in the middle of the night just researching, like, okay, what are the current dances that these kids love? What's the current music?
Mm,
What's the current shows that they're watching? And that is what helps me in my work, learning
right.
what they like and then applying it in an educational, fun way. So
Right.
yeah, I'll be up researching for these babies all the time. I
That
did it
makes sense to me.
did it last night. We have a bunch of students coming today. So just trying to find ways to really tap into their world of taking things that they really love and enjoy and putting it all together in a nice educational.
I feel like that is a quarterly workshop you could do for parents. Like, here's what is on trend.
Yeah,
Here's what you need to tap into.
listen,
Girl, write it down. Because I feel like
listen, I like it.
brown mamas would pay you to do it. Like, come through with the
Here's
quarterly
the current
workshop.
dances.
Teach
Because
us because sometimes, parents, you got a lot going on. So tapping in is not always first priority, even though it should be. It should always be first priority.
for
So
sure.
yeah, thank you for reminding us. Thank you for reminding us to center ourselves, but to center children and to center their needs and the life that we want to have them live. Because I think it's vital. This work is vital work, and it is not only just adjacent to parenting work. To me, it is parenting work. The work that you do is parenting work. So I hope
Yeah.
that you take that with you. And just because you don't have biological children, look, you can come get these kids any day of the week.
Come on now.
Any day. Pick a day, an hour, a minute. But thank you, Dr. Kathy. I appreciate you for having this conversation with us.
Thank you so much, Muffy. I appreciate you for even thinking of me to do
Of
this.
course. Of course. So thank y'all for tuning in.
Yay.
Next week's conversation will be with, I don't know if Medina is a doctor. Medina, I'm just going to say doctor because everybody's a doctor now, and I'm not messing up nobody's name. Dr. Medina Jackson from over at the PRAD program at Pitt. She will also be talking about children and joy and loving on some babies, as well as like racial identity as Black mothers, as Black women. And so catch us for that conversation. And in the meantime, don't forget to visit brownmamas.com. We have an updated website. We are doing a new thing. We are now a public access hub for Black moms. And there's just lots of beautiful things on the horizon. And I'm excited to work with folks like Dr. Kathy to center joy, center Black female identity, and most of all, just love for real, for real. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Dr. Kathy.
Thank
Oh, is there anything you want people to do after this conversation? Do you want them to visit a website or your LinkedIn or anything like that?
Oh, you know what? You can always find me on LinkedIn. It's just Cathryn, Cathryn, Calhoun, Calhoun. I'm also on Facebook as Cathryn Calhoun and Instagram as cc.calhoun. So if you ever need any like work with the babies, you know where to find me. And thank you, Muffy, for all you do. You are truly like a pillar in our community, and I appreciate all that you're doing for the brown mamas and the babies. That's all I wanted to
Thank
say.
you. I
You're welcome.
appreciate you. All right, y'all. Have a great day, and we will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Bye.
Deuces.